site. So not only do they talk about we own the news, for those of you that might be new to this, here's another clip when they were talking about how they also own the science.
You know, we partnered with Google, for example. If you Google climate change, you will, at the top of your search, you will get all kinds of UN resources. We started this partnership when we were shocked to see that when we Googled climate change, we were getting incredibly distorted information right at the top. So we're becoming much more proactive. You know, we own the science, and we think that the world, you know, should know it, and the platforms themselves also do. But again, it's a huge challenge that I think all sectors of society need to be very active in.
So it's amazing. They own the science. They own the news, which is pretty much them saying it's whatever they say it is, you have to believe and go along with. And if you don't, it's misinformation. In fact, they could change it as it goes, because now the science that they own tells us that men aren't born as men anymore and women aren't born as men anymore based on their sex chromosomes. They're not, those things don't exist. Actual science doesn't exist anymore. They've removed it and made a new science. And if you question it and you believe in the actual science, you're misinformation and disinformation. They own the news. They own the Google search. And anybody that speaks against them and this mastermind manipulation that's going on with the left-right divide gets silenced. Period. This is why the alt-right's allowed to exist. For anyone out there that goes, well, Tucker Carlson, oh yeah, look at the bracelet Tucker's wearing. Oh, well, Ben Shapiro. Are you joking with me? They tickle your ears. They're not going to be able to lead people astray unless they give you some truth, unless they come out there and they entertain you and make you laugh and do these things. There's no real revolution without us going after the media, going after these tyrants like the same ones I'm posting this video on, who are censoring speech, who are dictating what can and cannot be said, because they own the information. Have you ever heard of such insanity? They own the information. All information comes from them. All science comes from them. Don't use your own eyes. Don't use your own ears. It's all misinformation unless they say it. And people out there actually believe this. And then they go, you hear conservatives, they see that, they're like, these people are out of their minds. And then they go to Fox News for their information. And they don't wonder how Fox News is funded and how it exists, or how Tucker Carlson could have a YouTube channel, right? Or Russell Brand, or any of these guys, because they want them there, or they'd be stricken off the platforms. They wouldn't be allowed to speak. Okay? They don't want an uprising, and they have these people in place to gatekeep you. That's what those people are. Because an actual uprising, an actual revolution would start with the destruction of the mainstream media, right? I always reference They Live, how he blows up the satellite at the end, right? Or the satellite explodes. If all the media was just shut off, people's minds suddenly start getting freed. And I'm talking about phones, all of it. All of it. So maybe when they do a grid shutdown, which is coming, maybe during that period, which I believe will be somewhere around 3 to 6 months, which will give enough time for people to, a lot of chaos will ensue without people having enough food stored up for 3 to 6 months, because most people barely have a week's worth or 2 weeks, certainly don't have more than a month. Okay, during that time period, real information needs to be shared. Boots need to be on the ground. People need to realize, while people's minds are free, that they can get to them and tell them, because when the grid comes back on, they're going to have a fake narrative about why it went off. They're going to tell you it was Russia. They're going to tell you that it was something else that happened. It was a solar flare. It was from within. Our own government is attacking us, the citizens in America, and this is happening around the earth. All governments have turned on their citizens. These globalists are tyrants. They're tyrants against our freedoms. And these people put in place like Trump, like the Argentina guy, they're all clones of one another. They're all it's a formula they're using. All these guys who are stepping up, showing up. I put the video up on the website. The guy who's doing the punching sign with Trump, the same picture, the two guys. They're doing the same, it's the same character. They're all playing characters. And they're all, everyone's like, yeah. What do you think? He'd be at the World Economic Forum saying that on a live microphone if they didn't want him to? Are you kidding? Are you joking with me? What does it do? It builds up credibility, because people can't think past that and say, oh, they didn't pull his mic? He's speaking against everyone there. Right? So what are they doing? Everybody's going, he's a new hero. Elon Musk is tweeting about it. Everyone's following, just like they did with Trump. This is by design. The conservative communists are doing the same thing as the liberal communists. They're playing to your emotions. They don't want an actual revolution to occur, so they want you to invest in these characters. They're all from a formula. They're all scripted. Okay, so this woman's telling you that they're gatekeepers. They own the news. They are gatekeepers. They're criminals that's what they really should just say. We're not gatekeepers. We're criminals. And we're committing crimes against humanity. We own the facts. Do you? Everything that comes out of their mouths has an agenda behind it. Everything. Every news story, you need to step back when you hear it and you need to evaluate what they're saying because it's to pull an emotion out of you. It's to provoke you. It's to herd you. That's all it's there for. Or it won't make the mainstream media news, ever. It has to have something behind it. And if a real event actually occurs, if some racial event actually happened and it really occurred without any involvement from the CIA or the government, they will put that on the mainstream because they can gaslight you with it. Because that's the whole purpose of the media, is to create a psychosis in your mind of a fake reality, staged wars, etc. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable they can get away with saying we own the news, we own the facts, we're the gatekeepers. Nobody should get any information from anyone else other than the New York Times and et cetera, et cetera. And then they nuke everybody like us. Well, they can nuke all they want. I ain't going nowhere. Neither are the rest of you.